Let's see if anybody joins the live. We are live to talk about Ready to Love. What's up, everybody? We are here tonight to discuss what happened last night on Ready to Love. And when you guys come into the chat, please hit that like button for me. Do me that big favor and hit the like button on the video. And get in the you can chat with me. I'll respond back to you guys. But I'm gonna wait a few minutes and see if anybody's gonna join me on this live tonight. So I'm probably gonna go start talking about the episode in about another 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'll talk about the episode. Maybe I should have done this late of a live, huh? We're gonna figure out these times to do lives. We'll get them together. We will get them together. And then I know Misha's still currently on her live. All right, you guys. So if anybody joins the live, be sure to like it. And I'm just going to go ahead and just start talking about this episode of Ready to Love. For this to be episode 5, it feels like we have been watching Ready to Love already for now 10 weeks or so. So this episode, it literally just kind of picked up where the last one ended, which was with Justice, not Justice, it ended with LJ and what's his name? Zoe the idiot, right? So Tommy was gonna tell who was going home. This was a waste of an elimination. We literally could have sent somebody home last week. Actually, we could have sent two people home this week, if we're being honest. Two people could have went home this week, and I would have been happy with that. But that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. Two people didn't go home. So this week, Tommy tells them that the three men that were in the bottom three, which was LJ, Justice, and Zoe, they were safe. They ended up being safe, and I just don't understand why. I think we could have got rid of in this episode. We could have got rid of two people. Could have been Justice, and it could have been Zoe, because neither one of them in this particular moment was I feeling. One feeling either one of them in this moment. So we see Tommy. So Tommy, he's sitting here, and we see him meeting up with LJ, Justice, and Zoe, the bottom three. Basically, just giving them the rundown of why the ladies weren't really feeling them in the process. With Justice is talking about, he has his own process. Now, for Tommy to have been so upset in last week's episode about Justice, dipping out on him with the white party, he ain't clocked him, he ain't checked him, he ain't said nothing to the man. But here you are understanding him. Make it make sense, Jesus. Like, I just want that to make sense to me, why he is so understanding of this man, but you were so upset that he did not stay at the white party the whole time. So then he decides to tell, who did he tell? He told Zoe that the ladies feel like with him that he ain't expressing himself enough. Well, I guess Zoe said, what, since the ladies feel like I ain't showing myself enough, expressing myself enough, let me give it to him. And did he ever give it to him in this week's episode? Did he ever give it to the ladies in this week's episode to show that, I guess, he got some kind of a personality or whatever? Yeah, he can go for me. He can go for me. So, you guys, when it comes to these group dates, I'm just not understanding why we had these group dates. These group dates don't make a lick of sense to me. I wish we would stop doing these group dates. It gives, we on a budget. We don't know what we're doing. That's what it's starting to give to me, is it's a budget crunch. And they just say, let's put all these people, get a group of people to go on a date, and that's that. So this group date, they went, I think it was like go kart or bumper car. Well, it wasn't bumper car. It was like go karting. They went. So it was LJ. It was Trenika. Hey Vita, how you doing tonight? B Squad in the house. Um. So yeah. So since you here, let me know in the chat, what did you think about the episode last night? What were your opinions? What was your thoughts on the episode overall? Do you think so? I was saying before you came in that I feel like two men should have went home this week, and I feel like it should have been Justice, and it should have been Zoe, Zoe the idiot. I feel like those two should have went home this week. I feel like those two should have went home, since we had to wait a whole entire week to get another elimination. And I really do want to stop with these group dates. These are the I just don't. It gives that they on a budget, sending these people on group dates. Like, I can kind of do without these group dates going forward. Um. So yeah, the group date that we had in this first part of the group date, it was the first part of the group date was Trenika, it was Kadian, Sharice. Who else was in that group date? I got my notes right here in front of me. Another thing I want them to stop saying is that Tommy was been married for 20 years. Tommy has not been married no 20 years. Tommy and his wife just got married in 2015, 2016. That ain't 20 years. I'm good. Last night's episode was a hot mess. Throw the season away. I 100% agree with you. Throw this season away. I think the casting is like really off with this season. Hey Trenika, how you doing? Yeah, the casting is like so off. I'm just trying to figure out what's up with the casting. It don't make sense to me. These men are not like Trenika. I know you like justice and all, but your boy, he ain't pursuing nobody. I don't see him in the pursuit of anybody. I know you say he showed you something different. So here's my question for you, Trenika, and you can let me know in the chat. So, do you guys like have conversations off camera and they don't show that, or do you guys film scenes that they literally just cut out of the episode? Because that's what it is for me when it comes to Ready to Love. It just feels like Zoe Justice. Let me put this on the screen. Zoe Justice and Mike needs to go ASAP. Who is Mike? Oh, Mike. So if you watch my review, I definitely agree that Mike needs to go. Mike, for me, I said it in my review that Mike gives me the fact that. So I found Mike's Instagram. So we had scenes they didn't show. Really? And I think that's my issue with Ready to Love. I wish that Ready to Love would. So I started watching it the second Houston season with Jason and all them. So I didn't watch the season where they were on the resort. But I wish Ready to Love would do something like that where it's a resort or something. Now you know they they barely show my butt on the show because I don't have any drama, and that's one thing that I pointed out in my review. That's something that I pointed out in my review because I'm noticing that when it comes to the ladies, because I know you have a connection with Randall, and also Kayla and Jamala do too. And then when we see Jamala and Kayla in the ladies' lounge, Kayla's always rolling her eyes when it comes to Jamala. But we all know that Randall has a stronger connection with you. So that kind of throws me with her. But I wish I did show more scenes with you, Trinique. I really do. Like other ladies, you're my top. You are my favorite one that I like. And then it's Brandy and Looney after that. So I wish I did show more. Now, can you kind of go into detail why you guys have to do these group dates? Because these group dates are something that I just can't stand because you don't get the full picture of what's happening in the day because you see everybody. Because in the first group date with you, it was Katie and it was who else was in that group date? It was you, Katie and damn. Yeah, I know you told me that on Twitter last night. You hated the group dates. Do they make y'all do them group dates? Is that something that y'all are required to do? But yeah, in that group date, it was you, Katie, and Sharice, and Jamala. So then you had the three. Now this is what I didn't understand. Why were the three guys there? Justice, Zoe, and who else was in that date? Justice, Zoe, and LJ. Like I don't understand that. Justice, LJ, Brandy, Devin, Sharice. Okay. Evita says, I don't mind the group dates. I just don't like when it's an odd number of people. It seems like they want to leave someone out. And that's how I felt in that episode when they had April on that group date, when she busted in on that date, on that conversation with Mike and with it was Mike and it was Kayla. That's how I feel about that. With the group dates, I think they could do better with the group dates if they separated them instead of having people in one. The producers coordinate the days. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense now. So because from the outside looking in, it looks like to us that you guys text each other, coordinate those dates instead of the producers, which I know that the now you can correct me if I'm wrong. Do the producers pay for those dates, like the food and everything? Because it's from how we see it, it kind of looks like you guys set up and we're gonna meet here, we're gonna meet there. Like I do like the group dates to an extent. Like I will say, like the group date later in the episode with Samson, Looney, Brandy, and Mike. I like that one because you can see their date. You can see Mike and Brandy, and you can see Looney and Samson. If we do group dates like that, I'm cool with that. But anything else, I can't do it. I can't do it. Um. So yeah, back to the first one that we had, where we just show up. So we just show up. They don't tell us who will be on the date, and they cover the cost. So now that you say that, that makes me wonder a little bit about these connections. Like, are these real connections? If they don't tell you who will be on a date with you. That's making me side eye ready to love. That's making me side eye them a lot. Avita says she liked the archery date. That was unique. I will say the archery date was a cool one. I wouldn't do it because I'm accident prone. So I'm gonna stay away from stuff like that because I'm too accident prone. So the go-kart date, it was cool. The thing that bothered me was how aggressive Zoe was. And if you guys know me, you guys know I don't like to use the word aggressive. That is not something I like to put on us as black people. But in this particular date, he was hella aggressive. Hella aggressive. Like, I get it. If I'm a competitive person as well. We tell let me put highlight this again. So we tell them who our connections are and we can make date requests. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So Zoe, I'm okay with people being competitive and whatnot, right? I'm okay with that. What bothers me is when, and if this was like, the men having some having competition with each other, I would be okay with all of that. But you have women on this date, and then you have somebody like Zoe who is just zooming through. Like, calm down, bruh. It ain't that deep. And what bothered me was when he bumped into Trinika's go kart, and I'm like, damn, like you bumped into her like she's a man, and like y'all, like it's literally a bumper car. You just bumping her, and then when Trinika said that, she hit her wrist, I'm like, dude, her wrist is already. I don't know, and I don't know what's wrong with your wrist, Trinika, but your wrist, one wrist is messed up. I'm like, damn, he's just trying to take out the other wrist at the same time. Like, now, Trinika, can you answer this in the chat? Did you confront him? Because that's what I was confused. I'm like, did you at all confront him? Don't forget, he hit my helmet hard. Now that part I missed. I missed him hitting your helmet. Call a spade a spade. Zoe was hella. He was hella aggressive, Avita. So I did miss him. I did miss him hitting your helmet. My dominant wrist was broke. It was broken. I'm so sorry. And they felt it was good for you to go on a date where bumper cars are with your dominant wrist being broken. Okay, okay, ready to love. Okay, so after that, you guys split up. So it was Trenika, Justice, and Kadian talking, right? I got it. I keep it real with you guys. When it comes to Kadian and when it comes to Justice, both combative as hell. They both are combative as hell. I tried letting them know what he did, but he was on one. Oh, absolutely. You can tell he was on one. What's up, Greta? What's up? You could definitely tell that he was on one. I just don't understand why he was on one. So when it comes down to, like I said, Katie and both Justice, to me, they are a little bit on a combative side. Now, for me personally, when it comes down to it, the fact that she was DMing him at 12 in the morning, I'm sorry. At 12 in the morning, the only thing open are legs, convenience stores, liquor store. Well, not here in Texas, but convenience stores, gas station. The gas station, convenience store, legs, fast food joints. Those are the only things that are open at night, especially at 12 a.m. So what she was DMing him for, I do not know. I hope Tommy confronts those sometime during the show or at least at the reunion. Now, Evita, you know how Tommy is. Tommy is not going to confront him at the reunion. You remember what happened with David. He kind of breezed over David in season 4, Houston. Yeah, Tommy ain't gonna do nothing. I don't expect much from nephew Tommy. So yeah, back to that. So DMing somebody at 12 in the morning asking for their phone number, absolutely not. And then she said he called her and he was doing the justice thing. I'm assuming the justice thing was being an ass. I'm just going to assume that's what it was because you guys know, sorry, Trenika, I don't like Justice. I just don't see it for Justice. Justice is the type of man, in my personal opinion. I know you told me on Twitter last night that she said she wanted to talk to him. She was interested in him at first, but at 12 a.m., I get that she was interested. Can y'all explain to me, what do y'all see in Justice? What do y'all see in him? I'm not seeing. I don't see it with Justice. Like, out of all the men this season, I think I can tell you guys that there are only two men that I semi like. So I may joke. I joke about Randall. I joke about Randall, but I do like Randall, and I do like LJ. I joke about LJ. I like LJ, and then I'm starting to grow on Swayze just a little bit. Growing on Swayze, and who else do I like? I think that's about it because I don't like Mike. I think Mike is thirsty. I think Mike was one of those kids in school who couldn't get a girlfriend. So now he's on social and now he's on Instagram every day, thirst trapping for the likes in the comments. So those are, and I want you guys to tell me in the comment section, in the comments and in the chat, who are the men that you like out of all the men that we have left, and who are the women that you like? Say that again. Justice is trifling. Sorry, Trenika, we love you, but your boy is trifling. Let me get this comment. So I tried to give Katie a chance, but she's combative. Absolutely, she's combative, but I don't think she told anything about Shakira's story. At least they didn't show it. So I said in my review about the situation with Shakira and Katie, if you guys look at the way that they edit, if you guys look at it, I do believe she did say something. And I said in my review, you guys know that when they join reality shows, they do sign contracts, and in their contracts, they can't sue them for certain things, right? Look at Nene Leaks, right? So I felt like, and I know you said in Misha's live, Tanika, that you don't want to say what it is, and I respect that, right? But I feel like I feel like it's a deep situation with Shakira, and I feel like it's a situation that involves someone else, and Will Packard Production as well as OWN don't want that liability risk. I feel like and we all know when it comes to Ready to Love, these people they film for hours because I mean, look at the first episode. We talk about this every season when it comes to their pictures, right? You guys do realize I feel like they shoot them those cast photos. That's what I'm saying. The cast photos. I feel like the cast photos are shot at the end of the day because if you look at some, and I'm gonna say how I can tell if they shoot them kind of toward the end of the day. Look at the women's hair. The women's hair is usually kind of frizzy, as if they've been sweating that hair out all day. That's what it gives to me. Let me highlight Trinika. So far from me, we had a spiritual connection. Our conversations were deep. He treated me and I think Looney differently. Now, I'm not condoning his interactions with the other women. And that's my issue with when it comes to Justice, because the things that he said, especially in his interview, and especially when he was talking to Kayla about, now, like, how do you get to know him? How do you know if you like a person if you don't get to know them? Like, it's kind of pointless. Like, you don't want to give people your phone number. How are you gonna know if you have a connection with someone? Like, I'm cool. I'm not a cheap. I am cheap for myself. But if I'm going on a date with somebody, I'm gonna go all out for you. I'm gonna take you to the nice place and do all kind of stuff, right? So I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna skimp on anything. It's whatever you want. I got them. If I got the money, you get whatever you want, right? But we can also do stuff. We can go to the park. We can do all kind of things. It just doesn't seem like with Justice he has any kind of intention. That's just my personal opinion. But you guys, y'all know. Let me know what you think and feel. So Evita says rah rah. Oh, can we stop saying rah rah? Can we stop with the rah rah? Where did she get that from? Rah rah, LJ, and Samson are the only men I like. Samson. Like I said last week, I like Samson to an extent, but when he came up with that struggle story, I was kind of over Samson just a teensy bit. Because we as black people, that is what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna keep with the struggle. We are not gonna keep with the I don't like that as black people. Because my mom, she was a single parent. And We never struggled. I don't know what a struggle is. She never, if she struggled, she don't want me to, I never saw it, but she didn't struggle. So I like Samson, but that whole struggle story, we got to let that one go. I don't do struggle. I don't like struggle. I don't like struggle. Let's see what Trenika said. Evita the Diva. Boo. Please don't ride the raw ride train. That was a dumb nickname. It is a dumb nickname. It is a dumb nickname. But I will say I do like Jamala, even though I do call her Mama D. I do like Jamala. I just want Jamala to do something different with her makeup and with their wig. I think that's my issue with all the women this season. The wigs. Sorry, once again, Trinika, I'm sorry. Y'all's the wigs are just not wigging. And I love me a good, I love me a wig. If it's installed correctly, I love me a good wig. But a bad wig, I will rag on that until until I don't see it no more. I will rag on a bad wig. I agree. No struggle bus. Absolutely, absolutely no struggle bus. I don't know why we as Black people feel like we have to live in a struggle. I don't get that. And Greta says Swayze has grown on me. He has definitely grown on me as well. Because initially I wasn't feeling him with that little pencil mustache, that Mr. T haircut. Like I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling him, but he's growing on me. I still think some of them stories he be telling are lies. Okay, listen, I'm not offended. Okay. I just I'm gonna keep it real. But yeah, the wigs, it looked like they came from no shade. It looked like y'all got them from a swap meet. Because now I know you said that you had I know you said you got thick hair and with your wrist, so I understand you, but everybody else, Ready to Love can't give y'all no kind of budget for some hair. Yeah, we gotta do better. So back to the episode, you guys. So after that, excuse me, y'all. So with Trinika, so she was talking with Katie and with Justice. Now, when Katie was going back and forth with Justice, I would have ended that conversation so fast. And then we asked her for a hug. I was with Katie. Absolutely not. You will not get a hug from me. We good. I'm good on you. Now we did see a brief conversation with LJ and with Jamala, but I wasn't really paying too much attention to that. What then caught my attention was this conversation with the idiot Zoe and with Sharice. You guys know I've said it on Twitter, I've said it in every one of my reviews. I am no Sharice fan. I don't see it for Sharice. But in this episode, I had to defend Sharice. Budget. I wish they gave us that. Budget. I wish they gave us that. Being on the show is expensive. Really? So y'all come out of pocket for this show? Absolutely not. That Miami humidity is disrespectful. Listen, I know about humidity, Greta. I'm in Texas, so I know about humidity here in Dallas. Like it is still hot as hell here today. I just came from outside not too long ago, and I'm just starting to cool down. So, where was I at? Oh, Sharice and Zoe. Now, I didn't agree with anything that Zoe was saying because Sharice asked him, like basically, what's going on between me and you? What's up with our connection? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When it comes down to Sharice, I feel like Sharice was playing a game. I feel like you guys know how I feel when it comes to Ready to Love. I feel like a lot of these people play a game just to make it to the end, right? So I feel like some certain people are trying to find that connection so that way they can make it to the end of the season, right? So Zoe said to her, what did he say to her? She asked him she asked him like what was his plan. He says to be genuine and authentic. I was like, good luck with that one, because after this I don't see nothing genuine, nor do I see anything authentic with you, sir. So she asked him where do they stand, right? He says he don't think she's serious. Like I said, I think she was serious to an extent, but even in last week's episode she said he was boring, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I agree with her. I think Zoe is boring. I don't think Zoe has a personality. So I have to agree with her. Now, here's another shady comment from me. It was in this episode that I finally noticed Sharice's eyebrows. Somebody tweeted me and said her eyebrows look like two centipedes. I cracked up. So Evita asked Trenika, so they don't provide you guys with wardrobe? Hell no. Even I know that. They don't provide them with wardrobe. You don't pay for the things for you. So Evita, I know a little bit about reality. The only thing that they pay for is the stuff that we see on screen, and that's that. Like if they go out on those dates, they pay for those dates. But as far as their wardrobe and their makeup, absolutely not. Now I do believe now, Trinick, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like in y'all interview looks, they do pay for that. They do give y'all a little bit. Do they give y'all something for that? Hey, Misha. So yeah, I just ready to love. How do they contact? How do y'all get cast for this damn show in the first place? I know you said that some of the men were recruited. Did you audition, Trinika, or were you recruited? Let me know that question. Um, and also, Trinika, if you can't say certain things, let us know, and we cool with that. So where we at? So yeah. Oh, the eyebrows. I was talking about Sharice's eyebrows. Them things are thick as hell, you guys. So Zoe said to Sharice that he saw another side of her and he was good on her. So he called her fake. Now, his delivery was terrible, but I do kind of agree. Our makeup is. I thought I was right about that. Our makeup is provided for during interviews. I thought so because I watched like I know with Housewives. That's like if y'all go on trips and stuff. I think they cover that. But I know the makeup is covered. So yeah, he was saying that Sharice is fake. I kind of agree with that. Like I said earlier, if you go back to the last episode when she was saying that he was boring and whatnot, like I said, I feel like a lot of people just do what they can to get to the end of the season because you guys know I say it every season and I keep on with this. I think that they get y'all got to get some kind of a stipend out of this to make it to the end of the season because I feel like that's why a lot of people try to make it as far as they can. That's what it gives. So Cherie said, she I auditioned, but the men were all of the men recruited. I auditioned, but the men were recruited. That is interesting. And I think that's why we can see that and I think that's what we notice as viewers that some of the women are actually there looking for love, whereas some of the men are just there to get Instagram followers, get Twitter followers, and stuff like that, i.e., Mike. I'm gonna stay on Mike's neck every time I think about it. Every time I can, I am going to stay on Mike's neck because I just think Mike is thirsty, and Mike is not there for love. I want Brandy to find her another connection. So while Zoe and Sharice were talking, he got very loud with Sharice and he became very aggressive, and that was just something that I just did not agree with. Like, dude, this is a woman. Like, why are you yelling at a woman like this? And at one point, I was fearful that like he might, buck up on her, post like be like post up or something, because it was just giving very defensive vibes to me from Zoe. And I just didn't understand what it was. Like I just didn't understand what that. So Trinika is responding to Evita. She says pretty much. I think maybe two women were recruited, really. And this is why we feel like this show is fake. She says all of the men were recruited. Where did they recruit that deadbeat Devin from? They can throw Devin back to wherever they got him from. Please throw Devin back to the Wolves, the Dogs. Actually, throw Devin to a courtroom so that way he can get custody, find some kind of custody arrangement for his son. I ain't saw for Devin since, and I don't want to see Devin at the reunion. Actually, Trinika, let me know that in the comments because I know y'all film. I know Ready to Love film. If you can answer that question, I know Ready to Love films their reunions pretty early. Have you guys filmed the reunion yet, or is it coming up soon? So, yeah, that whole situation with Zoe and with Sharice, I was on Sharice's side, and you guys know I don't see it for Sharice. I'm not a fan of Sharice, but I gotta defend right when it's right and wrong when it's wrong. JB, would you go on Ready to Love? It'd be the hell to the no. I would never go on no Ready to Love. I would not, because I'll. But let me rephrase that. Would I go on Ready to Love if I felt like if I felt like there were people on there that were serious about looking for love? Absolutely. But you guys know how I feel about Ready to Love. You guys know I feel that people are on Ready to Love just to, and not everybody. We see that Trenika is there, looking for love. But I feel like most of the people go on there just to get their followers up, and I don't need that. I don't care about social media. I don't care about, so I'm not a social media person. Like if you guys go look at my Instagram and my Twitter and even YouTube, I don't care about that. It's not that big of a deal to me. Would I like more? Would it be cool, especially over here? Would it be cool to have more subscribers over here? Absolutely, more subscribers. It would be cool. Somebody tagged me on Twitter and told me that he did a reality show on before. Oh, y'all filmed it already. Okay, okay, that's cool. Y'all have already filmed the reunion. Oh, there's so many questions I want to ask, but I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll wait till we get to the reunion. So let me know in the comment. Let me know what you guys thought about the situation. What this say? He got married to a stranger like an arranged marriage. Who, Misha? Oh, are you talking about that deadbeat Devin? Who would marry? Now, no shade, but who would marry any of these men on this show this season? Ugh, absolutely not. But yeah, I want you guys to tell me your thoughts and opinions on the situation between Zoe and Sharice. Because I saw when we were in Misha's live, Devin, who in their right mind would marry a man that don't know anything about his son? Is giving Sharice. No shade to Sharice, but all shade to Sharice. But yeah, let me know. Like I said, over at Misha's live, I saw, child, you ain't the only one. I'm struggling on social media. You're not the only one. You are not the only one, Trenika. I am too. But I don't, like I said, I'm not a social media person. It ain't for me. I tweet when I tweet. I get on here. Like if you want to find me, I'm on YouTube more than anything. If I'm not doing one of my reviews, I'm watching Misha, I'm watching Ashley, I'm watching Roxanne, I'm watching Keisha from Color Me Pink, I'm watching Scotty, Jeremy Speaks, actually Aubrey. I'm watching all. If I'm not on Twitter, I am right here on YouTube watching my people, supporting them. So yeah, I want you guys to just to tell me. I want you guys to tell me whose side are you on when it comes to Sharice? Because like I said, I saw on me, and I was kind of surprised on Misha's channel when I saw a lot of people that were blaming Sharice. Like, what did Sharice do? Like, I didn't see what Sharice did that was so bad. Misha says I don't do social media well. It's interesting because I even just made a TikTok recently, and I have not been on there, but I get a lot of notifications about TikTok. And Vita says I'm only on Twitter. Okay. I have pretty much all social media. I have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok. That's why I didn't use that. So I won't even give out my TikTok. All right, you guys. So the next thing I want to talk about is nephew Tommy. He sat down with Shakira. So Tommy is asking, Shakira is telling Tommy about the situation that happened in last week's episode at the white party, right? So they're talking about the white party and the fact that, you know, Kadian had told Mike and some of the other men about her situation. Now, I'm still in the dark about. I know you said you don't want to talk about it, Trenika, and I'm not going to ask you to. But it's just, and I respect them for not telling not telling it. But like, I feel like I honestly, and like I said earlier, I feel like it's kind of protecting own and the Will Packard production. I feel like it's protecting them from some kind of liability issue. But the way that Shakira talks about it is like, I want Shakira to go get some therapy, because I don't think that Shakira is ready to. I don't think she's ready to love in this capacity. She may be ready to experience love, but I don't think that she has necessarily gotten over the trauma of what has happened to her. So I feel that, you know, she needs to go seek therapy first and then come back. Because, you know, Shakira is from what I see on the show, she's a sweet girl. She's a beautiful girl. You know, like I said a few weeks ago, how old is Shakira? I forget how old Shakira is. But however old Shakira is, she doesn't look her age. She looks a lot younger than what she is. She looks a lot younger. Like when I first saw Shakira, I thought Shakira was like in her 20s or so. But she's a beautiful girl. But like I said, I just feel like Shakira has some deep rooted issues that she needs to work through before. Because I don't think that she was. I think she was just. I don't know. I feel like she probably pushed herself a little bit too soon, and maybe she should have, you know, just taken some time to get the therapy for herself. Trenika says this show has gotten me out of my comfort zone. I'm still trying to figure out Twitter. Twitter can be a mess. I will say that, but it's a fun time, you know, tweeting about the show. Shakira is not ready for love. Absolutely not. I don't think Shakira is ready for love. Not in this capacity. Not in this capacity. So Tommy told her that, you know, he'll give her the night off and that, you know, everything that goes on in the ladies' lounge, it should stay in the ladies' lounge. I was like, okay, Tommy, I guess if you say so, sir. If you say so. She definitely hasn't healed. She only talks about her son and her trauma. Well, I'm okay with her talking about her son. I'm okay with that. It's the trauma that's kind of it's not bothering me, so to speak. The trauma is not bothering me. It's the fact that I just don't feel like she's completely healed herself from that, whatever that experience was, because it sounds like it was very traumatic. She was greatly triggered. I wish she didn't experience that at all. She's a beautiful person inside and out, and absolutely, absolutely, you can definitely see that she's a beautiful person. Misha says, with this platform, I'm trying to be more active, but it's just so many different social media apps. Twitter is about the easiest. I just scroll TikTok. See, my little cousin, she talks about TikTok, how she scrolls TikTok, and this helper stays up to 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't have time for that. Like, and I heard her like when I was staying with them, I heard her one night, and she was literally on TikTok at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, girl, if you don't go to sleep, like you could hear her on TikTok. So here we go with the next group date. Now, you guys know how I feel about the sexual puns and all of that kind of stuff. You know, I hate it with a severe passion. Yeah, I don't know how to make videos. Like, I feel like it's crazy. It's funny. Like, I'm only 33 years old and I feel like I'm the old person now. Cause, you know, like I have a little 9-year-old nephew and I have to ask him how to do things. Like, I'm like, when did I get to be this person where I got to ask my nephew how to do things? Because I'd be like, Kai, show me how to do this. Show me how to do that. It's sad that I'm getting to that point in my life. So, yeah, we have another group date, and it is with Brandy, Looney, Samson, and Mike, you guys. So, Mike and Brandy, I think Mike and Brandy forgot they were on a group date with Samson and Looney. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I don't think Looney has any kind of connection at whatsoever with Samson. Absolutely none. Because he was talking. I will say in this scene, Samson kind of slightly won me back over because he didn't bring up nothing about the struggle. He was talking about her working out, and I was like, "Thank God, we can talk about something else besides the struggle." Like you guys know, I just don't do the struggle. So it's cool to talk about it was cool to talk about working out. So then we see Brandy and Mike. So Mike got some fruit, dipped it in the wine, and told Brandy to grab it with her tongue. I was like, oh my God, why? Why do we have to do this with the food? Can we just eat our food and not be so sexual with the food? I'm not understanding why we got to be sexual when it comes to food. That don't make a lot of sense to me, being sexual with our food. Food is just meant to be eaten. Depending, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone. So I'm gonna need for Mike to learn what a long distance relationship is. I'm gonna need Mike to learn what a long distance relationship means. Long distance relationship means so you guys are in Miami. Now, if I came on Ready to Love Miami and I'm in Texas, then that's long distance because we live in different states. She's a flight attendant. That means she flies to different states, maybe even different countries, you know, for her job. But guess what? She comes back. Now, I don't know if Brandy caught this or not, but Brandy, when he said that he gonna have to put pillows in between him because you're gonna be gone for 3 days, that man is telling you he's gonna cheat. That's all I got from him is I'm gonna cheat. That's all I got from the man was I'm gonna cheat. I like Looney and LJ. I do like Looney and I do like LJ. I just don't want LJ to ever sing to us again. I'm gonna need LJ just to never sing. If he never sings again, I'm cool with him. So yeah, I really want Mike to learn what a long distance relationship is. That's all I need for Mike to do is learn what a long distance relationship really means. It doesn't mean that my girlfriend go long distance relationship. A couple that gets on my nerves that I wish would just break up already. Please, for the love of God, break up. Clifton and Joy. If those two would just break up for me, I would be happy. Y'all know how I feel about Clifton and Joy. Y'all know I don't see it for them. I think that they are a stunt. I think that Clifton and Joy are a complete stunt. Clifton and Joy and what is the other couple that's get on my nerves? Oh God. What's her name? Cornelius and Camille. I see them on my timeline, on my Instagram timeline almost every day, and I just want to throw my phone every time I see those two couples. I want to throw my phone every single day that I see them. It's just like overkill. Overkill. Mike is the worst, and I still don't like him, and I still don't like Joy. Oh, I'll never see it for Joy. I ain't gonna never see it for Joy after their reunion. Joy lost me at last season's reunion, and Mike is the worst. Mike is terrible. So I do want to say something real quick because since we got Trenika in the chat, this is the first time because last season with Potomac and DC, that cast I don't think they like me that much. I don't think that the DC or Potomac cast like me that much because nobody, yeah, I don't think they like me as much as I went in on each and I think the only person from DC that I know has, that interacts with me is Sabrina. Sabrina is the only one that has interacted with me. Everybody else, they don't rock with me, they don't deal with me. And that's fine. If you can't take the truth, we ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't got jack diddly squat to talk about. So, you guys, next up we got another solo date, and it is involving Trenika and LJ. And LJ and that blouse he had on, burn it, sir. Burn it. So, Trenika, I want you to answer, if you're still in the chat, answer this question for me. Because you were saying, because I have it right here, you said that he was on your radar since day one. So, and I know you told me that you guys do exchange numbers at the beginning of the process. So with you and Ellen, like were you guys having like side conversations? Like were you guys texting? Were you guys because I know on the DC cast, they were texting each other. They were texting each other, they were FaceTiming with one another. So is that kind of like what you guys were doing as well? I know you said that they do film stuff that we just don't see, but you said he was on your radar from the first day. And I do think that LJ is a good guy. And then I think that's one of the things that I do hate about Ready to Love. Even though, like I said, I didn't watch the season where they were on the resort. I wish that OWN would go back to that, so that way we could literally see the connections forming, have everybody in a house, so that way we can see the connections. We can see them go on dates, and even then we can do group dates. I don't care. I would just like to see these connections, so that way when we get to the reunion and people say, oh, I had a connection with such and such, but they just didn't show it on the show, and we'd be like, wait a minute, what the hell? Because I know with Ready to Love Houston, the second half of Houston, I remember they put so many dates on the YouTube channel. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and watch YouTube when I just watched the show last night. If you wanted me to see this date, you would have included it in the episode. So I don't like that at all. So I love the fact that Trenika asked LJ about his daughter. I thought that was so sweet. And he says that she's. So I'm assuming she's a daddy's girl because he said that she got him wrapped around her finger. And then he asked Trenika, has she ever been with a man that has kids? And she said yes. And she says she's used to that because she grew up in a blended family. So I like that. So with Trenika, we know so I know we know she has three connections. Justice, which ugh, yeah, we were conversing. Let me highlight this one. Yes, we were conversing when we are not filming. Okay. And see, that's what, like I say, I wish Rated to Love would show. That's why I wish Rated to Love would just put all of you guys in a house, so that way we can kind of see the connections forming. So that way, even before the reunion or by the end of the season, when we see people who have these connections, and we be like, where did that come from? like going back to DC when it came to Dante and Aisha, they were texting and FaceTiming each other. And when we saw them having a connection when they went on on that little retreat, we were like, where did this come from? So it makes sense now. That's why I said I wish that they would just put y'all in the house together, so that way we could see fully what is going on within Ready to Love. So let's see where we at now. So I'm not gonna go too deep into the ladies' lounge and what happened in the ladies' lounge. I just want to say that with this ladies' lounge, so my opinions of some of the ladies have changed with this episode, and I didn't expect it to. I didn't expect for my yeah, that's a good question. Avita, Misha, what's your favorite seasons of Ready to Love? Now I know you guys all tell me that I should have watched from the beginning of the season 1 through 3 were the best seasons. So one day I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna binge watch them, and I may talk about them. We'll see. But this episode with the ladies' lounge, I'm starting to look at some of the one lady in particular who has got the proverbial side off of me now is Kadian, right? I really wasn't seeing it for Kadian in the beginning, but this episode, watching Kadian, it just didn't sit right in my soul. It didn't sit right in my spirit. Watching her, because when she was talking to Charisse, it was coming from a perspective that she was defending what Zoe did. And I'm like, there's no way you can defend what Zoe did. Zoe was wrong. So, like, she was like, well, that's you told him barbecue him. Now, I want you guys to chime in the comment section. Now, Trenika, let me know this. Was Sharif talking to you when she said barbecuing? And was that in response to him being so aggressive when it came to that go-kart? Because that's what I took it as. That was how I took it. I took it as Sharice was just being playful and not being serious when it came down to saying barbecue Zoe. That's really how I took it. Now I want you guys to let me know, how did you feel when she said barbecue him? I don't think that she was being malicious. I don't think she was saying, Leah, let's beat him up or no stuff like that. I think she was just saying, oh yeah, he was coming at you, he came at you hard, so let's get him. Like, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But I want you guys to definitely tell me. That would be awesome, JB. The resort season, they were in Houston. Yes, I do know that they were in Houston that season. Is that the season? Because I know you guys talk a lot about Simone and Rashid. I don't know who I did see them, that they have a YouTube channel, and I was watching them earlier. Are they from that season, the resort season, or are they from another season? No, they're from that season, because Rashid and Simone are in Houston. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Rashid and Simone are in Houston, I believe. So I believe, right? You guys will get me correct. I know you will. But I love you guys. So yeah, I just didn't agree with Kate. So Katie and has so Sharice, you guys know Sharice has been at the top of my list of not feeling her, right? And I wasn't really feeling Sharice because of the comments that she made about Dominica. But after that, I was like, well, we can give Sharice another chance. And then when she called Mike's kids, what did she call his kids? Baggage, right? I didn't think that was a I didn't think that was a cool comment when she said baggage either. But Mike came back at her, and I know people said Mike was, being joking with her. Even if he was joking with her, it kind of felt like to me with Mike, like Mike was saying, "Oh, you 45 and you don't have kids." I mean, you do know some men and women don't want to have kids. So, what are we talking about here, sir? Let's see what this guy. Kadian was deaf pacifying Zoe. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't either. Okay, so Trenika says that Sharice was being playful. I thought she was being playful. So Zoe just got in his. So she, as much as he said she got in her feelings, no, sir, you got in your feelings. I don't think Sharice meant any malice by saying barbecue. I don't think so either. Yeah, Rashid and Simone were from that season. Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely go back and rewatch season 1, 2, and 3. I won't do so. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and watch those 2 seasons at some point. I don't know. I'm not gonna give you guys any, definitive data when I'm gonna watch them. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and watch, Ready to Love season 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll binge watch it, and I will do a review of sorts, right? And I'll just tell you guys what I thought of that season, who my favorite people were of that season, and we'll do that. But again, I'm not gonna give you guys a timeline because I'm got a lot of stuff going on, especially with work. But I'm definitely gonna write it down to go back and rewatch those seasons of Rated to Love and come back to you guys with my thoughts and opinions of those seasons. So where are we at? So yeah, with the ladies lounge, I just in a so Sharice has moved down on my list. Sharice is not enemy number one anymore. Zoe showed his true colors. Zoe showed his ass, is what he did. Zoe showed his ass, looking like somebody's pawpaw. How old is Zoe? Like what, 46? The man looks older. The man look like he is old enough to be my pawpaw, not old enough to be my brother or my no. He looked like he is old enough to be my grandfather. So let's see, where are we? So yeah, with Katie, and I just wasn't really feeling her defending. I just wasn't like, how do you defend it? Like, I think there's one thing that bothers me when it comes to, especially when it comes to women and women who are abused or battered, and you have women who identify with men and be like, oh, well, what did you do to him? Or oh, you did this and you did that, da 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 da. No, we ain't gonna do that. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, I hate when people do that, and I hate when women do that. Find any kind of reason to defend a man who was being aggressive, verbally, mentally, physically, any kind of way towards a woman. I absolutely hate that, and I detest that. Like, I really do. So Greta says, I watched all of season one, but not the others. I have to binge the others. Yeah, we'll be binge. I'll have to binge them as well. Now, in the comments, season two was my favorite. Avita says. Now let me answer me this question because I'm think I'm noticing a trend when it comes to Ready to Love. So do they do two when they have a city? Do they do two separate seasons? Do they do two different seasons and count it as one whole season? Because I think y'all said the first season of Ready to Love was in Atlanta. Is that correct? And then they filmed. So one season was in Atlanta. Well, two technically, right? And then they came back and did the 2 seasons in Houston. Then we came and did the 2 seasons in DC and Potomac. So I'm assuming we're going to be doing 2 seasons of Miami. Now, you guys, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I had high hopes for Rated to Love Miami. Now, you guys have to remember, I did tell you guys that I felt like when it came to Miami, that Miami was gonna be full of a bunch of old ass fuck boys. Excuse my language, but I said that when I found out that they were gonna do that. Cadian is definitely male identified, absolutely. So Trenika says they wanted to keep him. They want to keep who? Not Zoe. So answer me this. I want to know this question in the ladies' lounge. So you guys in the ladies' lounge, you guys discuss with Tommy who you guys are feeling and who you guys. No, they do one season each. That's what I'm saying. It looks like so it's technically 2 seasons, but it's in the same city. Yes, that's what I was saying. 2 seasons per city. So when we finish with this Miami cast, we'll have another Miami cast that'll follow. Actually, I'm pretty sure that the new Miami cast is already filming. I would assume that they're filming already, or at least about to wrap up their filming. So yeah, I feel like I said, I feel like Miami, we got a bunch of grown ass boys. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, Trenika, what I was saying was with the ladies' lounge. So I know you ladies tell Tommy who you guys are feeling and who you guys are not feeling. How do you then come up with who will be the bottom two? I've always wondered that. How do y'all come up with the bottom two and who will stay? Like, do the ladies have an input in who actually stay, or is that like something that the producers do? They want Zoe to stay. It's giving ratings. It is giving me ratings. So yeah, I've always wondered that when it comes to the gentleman's lounge and the ladies' lounge. I know you ladies and gentlemen tell Tommy who you're feeling, who you're not feeling, and he'll tell you ladies to get with these two men. But then how do you come? Like, because I've noticed that like a lot of times you ladies say, like let's just say for instance we're in the ladies' lounge, and Tommy asks us like, "Hey, so you'll be like, I'm not feeling LJ." Okay, you said correct. So this show just okay. I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself about Ready to Love because it's giving half authentic. That was a question I was wondering, but so you got what was the girl name last season that when it went to the resort she didn't show up? What was her name, you guys? I can't remember her name. The one that I what was her name? Oh girl that you remember she liked the one guy and she didn't come to the reunion. She didn't come to the retreat until the day of. Because remember, she had the car issues, and she was. We were wondering if she came to the reunion. That's who Zoe is giving me. Because when Zoe, I knew Zoe. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So we get the eliminates, as Misha calls them. So it is Brandy, and it was you, Trenika. I think it was you, Trenika, that had the date with Justice to tell him he was ready to love. My bad, you guys. Somebody just sent me a text message. I don't know who the hell it is. And why somebody text me at um 11 o'clock at night. But yeah. So yeah, I figured in the beginning of the episode when after that whole situation with Sharice and Zoe, I figured Zoe was gone for the episode. I figured Zoe was gone and he wasn't coming. And also when it comes to these eliminates, I always wondered some of these people you look at them, you think they really believe that I'm like, do you really think that you're on a date or do you not know that you're being eliminated? I figure when it comes to those eliminates that the producers don't tell them everything. Like when I feel like they just set the date up and say, hey, we want you to sit down with this person and you'll tell them, hey, you're not ready to love, or hey, you are we had our ladies lounge, we had our gentlemen's lounge, and we ultimately came up with the decision that you are still ready to love. And I'm sorry, I just don't believe that not Zoe, but Justice is ready to love. Okay, so he was at the y'all gonna have a spicy reunion. I can already see that right about now. Y'all's reunion is going to be spicy. Y'all are gonna have a spicy reunion. Um, so if you guys hear another text, I just text the person back. Yes, I had the day with Justice. Okay, I thought that was you. Um, so Brandy got stood up by Zoe. I was like, damn, that's janky. That's effed up to just stand her up. But I feel like with Zoe, I feel like Zoe probably knew it was his time to go, and he just said, "I'm just gonna bow out." Now, when we get to the reunion, I do want Tommy. Like my issue with Tommy is, I feel like he's not gonna call some of these men out, and I want Tommy to call out Zoe at the reunion because Zoe, he ain't right the way that he like again, like I said, I'm not a fan of Trinity. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Um, I'm not a fan of Sharice, right? I'm not a fan of Sharice, but we gotta defend Sharice. Like right is right and wrong is wrong. You gotta stand up for that. And you gotta defend that. For All right, so let's put this up. For eliminations, we have an idea if we are either going to be warned or eliminated. Okay, okay. The reunion was very spicy. I know. I can tell that their reunion is spicy. I can just looking at the way you guys have been interacting on Twitter. I know that the reunion is spicy. I know that that is a spicy. Sorry, you guys. Once again. So yeah, I know that their reunion is very spicy. So Zoe took the coward way out. In my person, if you guys want me to be honest, Zoe took the coward way out of this situation. And back in the beginning of the episode, when LJ went to talk to Zoe, he was like, "Hey man, don't leave it bad like it is." And he walked out. Like, dude, you could have at least went up to the woman and be like, you know what, Sharice, you know what, it's my bad. You know, we got a little heated. I wasn't trying to come at you sideways or nothing like that. I just felt like you would, I felt like you were playing. If he felt like she was playing him or anything, he could have literally said that. Like you could have said anything to Sharice instead of saying nothing. And I hope, like I said, I hope at the reunion we do address it. But for me, I just don't know if we're gonna address it because Tommy don't always go too deep into it. And which season was that when Tommy was not at the reunion? That wasn't last season? It was a DC season when he had that lady, I can't think of her name, when that woman hosted. She was not a good host because she didn't call anything out. Let's see what Greta says. Sharice was not my fave either, but she was treated badly by Mike and Zoe. Absolutely, 100%. She was treated terribly by Mike and Zoe. And like I said earlier in the live about Sharice and Mike, I understood how Mike felt when she called his kids baggage, but you didn't have to then come back with something nasty like saying, basic, because the way that I interpreted what he said to Sharice is, oh, you're a woman of a certain age. I look at you as a red flag because you don't have any kids. Like, first of all, you don't know her that well, so you don't know if she is unable to have children. You don't know if she has, if she's never gotten pregnant. Some women get pregnant and they can't carry babies to term. So for him to say something that disgusting to her, I just didn't agree with that. He didn't even apologize to me at the reunion. Oh, we gonna oh I'm a roast Zoe's wide bodied ass when we get to, I'm gonna roast his big wide body ass. Like he didn't apologize. Zoe is a sad sack of a man. Actually, I can't even call him a man. I'm gonna call him a boy, and that's even disrespectful to young boys because young boys know right from wrong. Like he didn't. We're just gonna leave that on the screen because that just bothers me right there. That bothers me. He didn't even apologize to me. He didn't apologize. Well, Mr. Zoe, I know you won't like me going forward because you're gonna join the rest of the crowd of some of the people from Ready to Love that don't like me, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. You know, I came into this world by myself, and I'm gonna go out by myself. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. But yeah, he was the one that went home, and I'm cool with that. Honestly, we could have had a double elimination. We could have got rid of Justice. We really could have got rid of Justice. I just I don't see it for just. I don't know what I mean. I know you say Trenika that he showed you a different side, and I wish that this different side that Own had showed it to us as well. Because maybe he is likable, but what they edited together is not a likable person. What they've edited together is someone who is cocky, is someone who likes to sit back and let women chase after him. That's the vibe that I get from him. That's the vibe that I get from Justice. Is he's the type of man that, oh, I know I'm fine. Every woman want me. Like if I get with a woman, she should consider herself lucky. That's the vibe that he gives to me, just personally from what I see on the show. So that's really all I got. Um, so yeah, this episode overall, I didn't dislike the episode, but it was just the stuff with Zoe that bothered me, and then it was Katie. That was what bothered me as well. It was the stuff with Zoe and Katie, and those two things just didn't sit right with me. And really, more specifically, Katie, and you are a woman. I don't give a damn if Cherie said to chop the man's nuts off. She didn't do it. It's one thing to say you can say things in a joking, playful way. And Zoe, if he felt some type of way about it, you should have said something to her in that particular moment. You should have pulled her to the side and be like, "Hey, man, so I heard you when you whispered to Trenika like barbecue his ass. What you mean by that?" And that would have given her the opportunity to say what it was that she felt and what it was that she meant. But you didn't give her that. Greta says, "Wow, Zoe ain't absolutely." Evita says Zoe wasn't man enough to take being told he wasn't ready to love on national television. He sure wasn't. He is giving. Is it was it David from Houston that couldn't take being being rejected either? She says best to forgive those who don't like you. Absolutely. I really don't care who don't like me because I know it's a lot of them from Ready to Love that don't care for me, and that's fine. They can do whatever they want to do. I'm gonna still be up here on my channel talking my stuff, and my people love me. So we get into it every week. So it is what it is. I know with Ready to Love, I do be needing a break from this show, but so I'm assuming you're talking about Justice brought gifts on his dates. Okay. See, I wish they would just show us a lot more because I know from my people and from what I see on Twitter, nobody likes Justice. Justice is one of the if we're talking about the men who are the least liked on this show for from what I see from my comments, Misha's comments, and everybody else's comments, the men that are the most disliked this season is Justice and Mike and Devin. So Greta says Katie was really disappointed with this episode. Now, Greta, I won't say she disappointed me this episode because, like I said at the beginning of the live, at the beginning of the live, I Cadian has been combative every time. Cadian has been combative every time that we've saw her. So she didn't disappoint me. It just pissed me off. Like I said, I don't like women who defend them. And I'm a man. This is coming from a man saying I don't like when women defend a man being verbally, physically, mentally abusive to a woman. Like, and I'm not saying that it doesn't happen where a man can be abused by a woman. We know that that happens. That's a different story. So if a woman is abusing a man, absolutely defend the man. But when the man is abusing the woman, don't find any fault with the woman. Like, don't do that. She didn't start it. So Trenika says it was so much drama, I was drained. Yeah, I bet you were, because I know y'all filmed for like hours. Y'all filmed for excuse me, y'all filmed for hours with that stuff, with the reunions. So Trenika says, I hated the ladies' lounge and the group dates. Now I'm okay with the ladies' lounge. I think sometimes in the late from what I see, sometimes with the ladies' lounge, it can seem like it gets a little catty in there. Like I want to point out when now granted, I just told y'all earlier in the live that I hate the fact that Jamala, aka Mama D, calls Randall Rah Rah. I hate Rah Rah. I don't ever want to hear Rah Rah. Rah Rah, when she says Rah Rah, I think of Baba. And when I think of Baba, I think of bye bye. Like, okay, that is really nice that he brought a gift. Okay. So, question. With Justice, I know you had a connection with him. Did you say Looney had one? Okay, I was just that was my question. Damn. He gave Looney a $50 gas card? Eh, Let me sign up for the $50. Especially with the high gas prices right now. Let me have that $50 gas card because I would love that. Okay. So you kind of making me look at justice a little bit differently. But I but the thing is we still have to go off of what we see from, and I know you guys understand this. We go off of what they show us on TV. I know, and this is another thing that I hate when it comes to some of the cast from Ready to Love when they look nasty and negative. Oh, it was editing. They edit me this way. They edit me that way. They edit. They edit. They edit. They can only edit what you give them. So you guys, and that's what I always say to people who say editing, because I've had people tweet me say, "Oh, it was editing." Oh, people who get in the comments, "Oh, it was editing." They only edit what you give them. Like they can't edit you to make you look any kind of way. Right, Greta, come through with a gas card. I ain't mad. I damn sure ain't mad with the cost of gas, even though it's going down. I ain't mad at that. I'm here for that. But yeah, I'm cool with that. But the ladies' lounge, I think the only thing for me sometimes with the ladies' lounge, it just gets a little bit. It feels like it can be a little bit catty. That's just my person. That's just what I see sometimes. And I'm gonna give you guys. I was giving you guys an example of me seeing catty. Kayla. I don't have an issue with Kayla. I think I'm just trying to understand why Kayla has an issue with Jamala and not you, Trenika. Like I don't understand that. Like I said earlier in the live, we can clearly see that Randall has a stronger connection with you. He has a stronger connection with you. So I don't know why, because I noticed in this episode when Tommy said rah rah, and then Jamala said something about Randall, right? So then I noticed that Kayla rolled her eyes, and I'm like, sis, he got a connection with Trenika as well. So I don't understand why you got this energy for Jamala and not Trenika. And Trenika, I want to say something to you. Every time we see you, you got on them outfits you be wearing. You and Looney be wearing the hell out of y'all outfits. Y'all got body, like y'all got body. So I'm like, okay. Especially when Looney be giving us that stank walk. I'm like, girl, you better do it. So yeah, I love it. So yeah, you says it's always catty and drama. I can see that. I can definitely see that. That is, I can see the cattiness, but I don't understand. I mean, you got so some of the. And that's my other thing when it comes to Ready to Love. You guys know one thing that I also hate is the fact that who's in your top and who's not in your top. I don't like that. Just get to know people, right? This is speed dating on crack. I hate to use that analogy, but this is speed dating on crack, right? So get to know people and form your connections, right? Don't worry about, oh, you my top connection, oh, you my bottom. Just just have a true connection with the person, right? That's all that matters is having a true connection with the person. And then you figure out who you feeling and who you not. Most stuff ain't editing, but some of it really is editing. And I'm not denying that, some of it is in fact editing. I'm not denying that. I do feel like some of that stuff is editing, but at the same time, people give you guys. I mean, and I'm not saying you, Trinika. I'm saying just other people that they give like the stuff with Sharice. Sharice gave them that, so Sharice cannot say that they edit her to look nasty toward Dominica. Sharice gave them that. Zoe can't say that they edited him. Zoe can't say that they edited him to come off aggressive to Sharice. That's not editing because you gave them the footage. It's just how they chop. Now I know that when it comes to editing, they do chop and screw stuff. They can make one scene look like it happened in the same scene. When sometimes we can be looking at a scene and it can be from a different day or different time. So I get that part. Wait a minute, you said Jamala tried you? Really? Randall, I'm assuming. And that's my other issue when it comes to Ready to Love. We you they do know. Wait, oh, thank you for letting me know that Jamala tried Kayla first. Okay. So see, we didn't know that. We would have never known that Jamala tried her, because see the way that I've been looking at it for the last few episodes, it looks to me like Kayla was coming at Jamala first. But okay, now that you say that she came at her first, it makes sense. But my issue when it comes to Ready to Love with the women and some of the men, where I get the cattiness from is the where I get the cattiness from is the fact that this is, like I said, it's speed dating on crack, right? So you know that the person so I'm just gonna put myself in. It's like I'm a part of the mix. So let's say I'm doing Rated to Love and I'm with this cast right here, right? Let's say I have a connection with Jamala, I say speed dating on steroids. And it is speed dating, but let's just say I have a connection with Jamala, Trenika, and Sharice, right? And then I see that they have a connection, and let's say I have a stronger connection with Jamala, just saying in particular, and I see that Jamala likes Randall. I'm not gonna be like, oh, Randall, so I got an issue. Like when we get into the gentleman's lounge, I'm not gonna be mad at him if he say, oh, I really got a strong connection with Jamala. I'm like, okay, you got a strong connection with her, so do I. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? If she, at the end of it, if she chooses to, pursue her connection with Randall, I'm gonna be cool with that, and I'm just gonna make my other connections with, I said, Trenika and Sharice, right? I'm gonna just make sure that I build stronger connections with those two women, so that way, we'll see what's there. So that way, it's not going not we're not having an issue with each other because, oh, well, I like him and you like him, so I don't like you because of that. So I'm gonna be beefing with you. Like that shit don't that makes no sense to me. That's stupid. Like I said, this is speed dating. We know that. Like I don't know now. I don't know how many weeks y'all filmed, but from what it looks like, don't look like y'all filmed that long either. Avita says, I believe Thomas started that one top or bottom stuff on season one because it was more women than men, really. But it's still I hate that, like because it feels like because now it feels like it's a reality based competition of let's get to the top, let's get to the top three, let's get to the top four and stuff like that. So it doesn't feel as genuine and authentic to me. Get to know, build your connections, find your connections, build your connections, make them strong connection, make a strong connect. If you like I said, if I had a connection with Jamala and I know she has a connection with Randall, I'm gonna go all out and try to make sure that she feels like, oh, I like JB a lot more than I like Randall. So let me stick over here with JB, right? But at the same time, I'm going to still build other connections because Randall might be like, oh, okay, I see JB, you stepping it up. So let me step up my game so that way I can see, build the connections. So going back to what you asked me earlier, Evita, if I would do Ready to Love, I would do Ready to Love. I would just want it to be with genuine, authentic people who are actually 100% looking for love. I don't want to be on a show with people who I feel are there for the cameras, there for a stipend check, there for social media followers. Like I said, I don't care about social media followers. I have a full time job that pays me very well, so I don't need the money. And is literally called Ready to Love. So if I'm coming on this show, it is for me to find a connection that I can, make a lifelong, you know, maybe get married, have children. I don't know what I want to do in my life right now. So, but if I did the show, that is what I would want. That is what I would want. Same here. I would do Ready to Love with real folks. Absolutely. It's got to be real. And I don't want, and based off what Trenika said in the comment in the chat, I know you lying. 6 weeks. So some people be doing the most behind 6 weeks of filming. So that goes to show why I think that people are looking for social media follow. But I've been saying this since I've been watching this show. I do like Ready to Love, but Ready to Love does annoy me to a certain extent. But this is my show. I stick with it, but I just want it to feel more genuine and more authentic for me. And I want them to stop recruiting people. Like it's okay to have one or two recruits, but when when your men are recruited, because I felt that the men were recruited, because I definitely felt that Mike was recruited. Once again, I'm gonna stay on Mike's neck because I don't care what people do on social media. That's fine, what you do on social media. But I think it's kind of odd when you see somebody who has 187,000 followers, but they follow zero people. It's like what are you doing on social? Because he posts a lot, and they're thirst traps. Like you just doing this for the likes. It's building up that ego, and I want Brandy to see that. That's why I keep bringing it up because I really do like Brandy. I just don't think Mike is her connection. I don't think Mike is for her. I don't want Mike for her. I want her to find somebody else. I want her to find another connection to build because it ain't Mike. Mike ain't it at all. At all. But I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about, you guys. If you guys want to, I'll stay in. We can stay in here for just a few more minutes. I think I'm gonna get out of here at 11:30 my time. So yeah, if you guys have anything in the chat that you want to talk about, we can definitely do that. Now, Trenika, do they tell you guys how many episodes you guys have like? Do you guys know that how many episodes are going to air before we get to the reunion? And again, I don't want you to answer anything that will, mess up your contract. I don't. That ain't something that I want to do. I don't want to mess with nobody's bag. So, actually, that's a question that I have. So, I know y'all work. So, do y'all do this stuff outside of y'all's day to day jobs? Like, how does that filming process work? Because I really always wondered that with Ready to Love. How does the filming process work? She says they were doing the most on the first damn day. Really? The first day. And that's why I feel like when it comes to Ready to Love, sometimes it gives me that some people do things just for the camera. I think a lot of people see cameras in front of their face and they just they just go and do the most. Evita says, I just moved to Arizona. I hate that I'm 2 hours behind everyone, so I have to see the tweets for Ready to Love late. Yeah, so I've gotten to the point. Well, you guys know what so I've told you guys plenty of times why my Ready to Love reviews are always the next day. So you guys know on Friday nights I go out to eat after I get off of work, and I usually so I get off of work at 4:30 Texas, 4:30 Central Time, and I go out to eat at Cheddar's. If you guys are familiar with that, I go there and I stay there for about have me a few drinks if I feel like drinking, and I'll eat and I'll leave the restaurant typically around 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night, right as Ready to Love is coming on, and yeah, I'll leave it right as it's ready to coming on. So sometimes I'll tweet while I'm watching and while I'm sitting at the bar. Other times I'll watch it when I get home. Trinka says she's a sweetheart. Who are we talking about again? But yeah, so yeah, I be behind too, baby. That is my shit. I have been eating at my best friend. Me and her were talking. Okay, so they do tell you guys how many episodes you guys get. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, my best friend, we went out to Cheddar's recently, and she's like, "Do you still do the same thing that you've been doing?" She was like, "I was like, yep." She's like, "You've been doing that for a long time." I'm like, "Yep, I've been going to Cheddar's every Friday night since 2013, since but after my grandmother passed. I've been going to Cheddar's that long." Oh, thank you, Trenika. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, but yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up pretty soon, you guys. But yeah, I enjoyed you guys in the chat with me. It's been fun. But what else do we? Yeah, that's really all I want to talk about was just the episode. It triggered me. I've never been in a domestic violence situation, but it just something about a man bucking up, talking to a woman that way. It just doesn't sit well in my spirit, and I can never sit there and just listen to that. So I just didn't appreciate that. I don't like when Zoe, came at Charisse. I don't like him bumping Trenika. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So it just didn't sit well with my spirit. But hey, um, and if anybody who is watching, this after the live ends, definitely definitely get down in the chat, in the comments, and let me know what you guys feel going forward. So Tranika says you have to have an open schedule while filming. It's hard to work and film, but you're still working and filming. Really? So yep. So Evita, to answer your question, ain't no way in hell I would do that because I gotta live. I gotta I got my living that I gotta do. Great live, JBMB squad. Love you, Tranika. Yeah, we love you, Tranika. We love you over here on this channel. Oh, Brandy. Yes, I get that. She's definitely a sweetheart. I want her to get away from Mike. That's all I need is for Brandy to get away from Mike. I don't think he is really there for love. But it's a lot of the men. Now that you say that these men are recruited, I'm starting to see why I feel the way that I feel about these men not being, 100% here for love. Thank you, JB, Trenika, and Evita. And we also gotta say shout out to Misha because Misha was in the chat. I think she might have left. But yeah, you guys, it's 11:30 on the dot here in Texas, and I gotta get ready for Power so I can watch that and do my review of Power so for tomorrow. So yeah, you guys know what I say. Every time we do a review, if you guys actually first, if you guys are watching this and you guys aren't yet subscribed to the channel, you guys got to do what? Stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. Do me that favor, you guys. Like the chat, like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, you guys. And it is 11:31, you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys. If you guys watch Power, I will see you guys then. And if you guys watch Just Ready to Love, I will see you guys again next week for Ready to Love. And I'm gonna keep doing these. I'm gonna keep doing these lives, you guys. So we may do another live next Saturday. I'm not quite sure yet, but we just might. Actually, you guys, we will do another live next Saturday because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a lot to say about the situation between Shakira, aka Flower Child, as my friend Misha calls her, and Katie. And so I know I'm gonna have a lot to say about that. So we might be back next Saturday for another live. So I hope you guys will join me then. But until then, you guys, do me a solid favor. Stay safe, stay blessed, take care of yourselves, you guys. Remember to wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask because COVID is still around, and so is monkeypox. But do all that for me, you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all. Bye, everybody.